Hold on to your ghouls, everyone, because hacked orcs have officially invaded and been spotted on PlayStation. I know, you're very justifiably freaking out right now, but don't worry, old Fasterisks is on the case. In this video, I'll be investigating this blight, this infection, and I'll also be covering some air quotes drama that's made its way to my community. I've also been speaking to the person that's done this heinous act, and the reason he's decided to do it might shock you. All of that is coming up in the video, but first, let's go and take a look at this fortress of sin. But while I'm having my magical grog ride through the forest over to the fortress, the Nemesis system tries to stop me.
The leader who watches idly while his warriors fall is not fit to lead. The one who watches while I fall is not fit to live.
Benu the corpse Oh my word. He cheats death, he betrays me, he comes back and ambushes me for his big reveal, his big villain moment, and then he immediately realizes that I'm on top of a grog and he's terrified of them, and immediately begins running away in the forest. Oh my word. This definitely didn't go how he expected it to go. This Olog was actually part of my most recent tournament, and he died in the first round. I am very surprised he has come back, instead of an orc which made it all the way through to the finals. Also, that tournament happened ages ago, so he was really waiting for his big moment, his big reveal, and then it goes like that. I love the Nemesis system. After shaming him down, I make it to the front of the fortress. And this is what I see. Wow, these things look very unnatural. They're giving me Shadow Man vibes. My god, just look at the unnatural, horrible paint color of this guy. This is like basically my first time seeing hacked orcs. I may have seen some of them on Xbox, but I probably didn't know what they were back then. Apart from that, I've only ever seen pictures of them, and my god, this is definitely my first time seeing this. That is horrific looking. This guy doesn't look very hacked until you go and you see the big column of red. Wow. This guy looks very hacked. I mean, let's be honest guys, you can hate hacked orcs, but that one does look cool. In fact, what I just said is what led to me first getting into contact with these orc trainers on the Shadow of War Discord. But I'll get into that and I'll talk about the drama that's been going on after I've checked out this fortress first. Anyway, back to the hacked orcs. Again, this one just seems like a normal frog blood. Obviously, he's got horrible stats, but kind of weird that they wouldn't make them look crazy. I mean, this guy looks crazy. God, wow, yeah, I mean, that one's very obviously hacked. I think all that's left now is to assemble my terrible, terrible team. We are currently in Nurnin, and I don't really think I've got a fighting force, so I'm just gonna grab whoever I've got lying around. Yeah, I'm sure this team's gonna do great. I'm definitely not gonna get my shit pushed in by these hacked orcs. Right, lads? Oh, what a beautiful day, like summer in Ireland. Today we take the head of every single hacked orc inside this fortress. Teleporting on up to the top of the gate, I take out these horrible far side archers. If there's one thing that I've learned from raiding forts recently, it's that these archers are so goddamn annoying. I then throw my flaming hammer into the middle of all of these hacked orcs, but they have zero reaction to it. I thought they would at least get enraged. It only seems like one of them is. I then move in closer, and just from sight alone, two of them are on the ground and one of them is running around seemingly on fire. From first glance, you might think that these lads are just normal orcs, and they're beatable. At the time, I really didn't expect what was gonna happen next. I dash on in and immediately get sliced by one of them, but I'm very surprised that it only takes off about half of my health. I thought for sure it was gonna one-shot me. I then get hunted down by this black painted Olog. And just look at this unnatural abomination, this unnatural creature. He's got some of the beast's arms, he's got the all black paint, he's got the spider club, he's got the fanatical headgear. What is this abomination? Also, I'm now realizing that my orcs aren't even in the fortress yet. Maybe I should have brought level 80s.
You shamed me! You took everything away from me! But now I'll reclaim it. I'll destroy you, and the others will finally stop mocking me!
Ugh, that voice on an Olog just feels wrong. I get some distance, then I summon in my grog, and I summon in my orc bodyguards. I don't actually have a bodyguard captain because I'm in Nurnin, but I'm sure these lads are gonna do just great. I then head up to the roof and get a bird's eye view of what is going on. And at first you might be thinking that my orcs are doing okay, until one of them is immediately downed, and another is just straight up executed. To be fair, there was a 38 level discrepancy, but still. I begin to focus on the snowflake orc because he looks the most normal compared to the rest of them.
Why'd you have to attack this fort today? I had plans and you ruined them.
Ah, what a lovely chat with the snowflake. Two of my lads are now down. Things don't seem to be going extremely well.
You will taste the flames, and they will taste you.
Ooh, the sand spider with that lovely column of red. I believe the sand spider is from the Baronor DLC, is that correct? Out of sheer panic, I take the point. I don't believe that there's even a single scratch on any of these hacked orcs. And what's lovely about me taking the point so early is that there's now going to be 6 of them at the next one. But either way, I've got a bit of a skip in my step as I jump on my grog and we run on over. I hit that barrel with one of my beautiful hammers, and then when I'm running in, I see that one of my lads is already down. Shocker there. I hit a fire elven light, but it seems like these guys don't even feel it. All my fire is doing at this point is just making them enraged, making them more angry. Alright everyone, stand back. This is gonna be a sure thing. I'm gonna hit them with the hornets. Boom! Very surprisingly, these hacked orcs didn't break immediately from that. Well, it's safe to say that this isn't going incredibly well. But thankfully, judging by how strong they are and judging by the fact that they don't seem to lose health ever, I would say it's very unlikely that they're gonna be able to spread. Obviously, they can't spread from friendly raids. They could spread from vendettas, or they could spread if by the off chance you actually find this fortress. But if you do find the fortress, you're gonna have to actually beat them until they're broken and not enraged. And I believe that is going to be incredibly difficult. Despite me bringing in level 45 orcs like this, we still should have been able to take off at least a little bit of their health. Going over to the third point, I'm really wondering, what even is the point of this? I'm just staring down at my orcs being destroyed, Batman style. What are we going to do about this blight? Not on my beloved PlayStation. It's going to spread like wildfire, people on Reddit are saying. And you know these Reddit moderators, they're always right about everything. Even though there was hacked orcs on Xbox and they never really spread. I would say I've played about 1,000 hours on Xbox and I've only come across hacked orcs I think a handful of times. And I've never come across the dreaded red column. So what I think people who are worrying about this should do is maybe have a little cry in the mirror. That usually helps. Or if that doesn't help, then maybe you could go and have a lovely bite of your delicious glazed donut chicken burger. Anyway, before I end this raid, I just wanted to go and look at the other orcs. Now I can just slowly walk over here and begin to aura farm while the sad music plays. I'm going to smash this grog barrel with my hammer for no apparent reason, because I just want to take away their grog. It's all about the small victories. Also, what I find interesting about these hacked orcs is that usually if it was a normal orc, they wouldn't be hunting me down outside of the point, but these guys are really gunning for me. It's almost like they're part of the Shadow of War Discord and they're my biggest fans. Just look at them go. I then walk back into the center of the point and I accept my fate. Getting taken out by Jarl the Outcast. Goodbye, cruel world! My god, this fortress truly was horrible. An abomination, created by Satan and Sauron themselves. But now, let's move over and let's talk about a bit of the drama and how I was sort of involved in this fortress. It all started about 2 years ago when I first went over and joined the Shadow of War Discord. The first message I saw from this user reads like this. Eat Fasterisks, ye little fame, likes, money. Any moral codex, right? Grow up some spine, loser. Oh, you saucy little devil, you. He says in the message, if I was a streamer with such a big community and getting more people to play the game, I would never allow to even talk about cheated orcs. I could tell by his words that this was a very serious individual, one that I probably shouldn't mess with. Which is why I was very surprised that whenever I went over to his own YouTube channel, I found videos looking like this. He may be showing people how to beat them, but in his own words, you shouldn't even be allowed to talk about cheated orcs. So I would say there's only a slight hint of double standards here. So the reason that this cheeky, saucy little devil got so angry is because about 2 years ago I was reacting to different pictures of orcs that members of my Discord shared with me. And to be fair to him, in that video I did the unthinkable. What I said for sure broke the Geneva Convention. There was reports of thousands of people going deaf after watching my video. There's 100% a special place in hell reserved exclusively for me. I said that one hacked orc looked cool. This is what very justifiably led to his crash out. But thankfully it doesn't stop there. As he says, a hopeless piece of I am looking forward to his downfall. Another completely reasonable and justified message. And I guess his wish has come true as his friends are now, air quotes, trying to expose me. Expose me for what, you may be wondering? Well, I'll talk about that later in the video. Seeing these comments for the first time whenever I went over to the Shadow of War Discord did put a bit of a spring in my step. Absolute goddamn cinema. But then sadly, I acted extremely petty. I removed him from my Discord because he was there for some reason as well, despite hating my community and my channel. So I removed him, which led to him saying this, talking shit about someone who can't see it anymore, because got kicked. That is pretty low. Hold on to your testicles, gentlemen, we've got another certified case of double standards. But all of this weird drama chat has got me a little bit thirsty. I think it's time we go and raid the second hacked fort. Let's take a look at this lad's orcs. Apparently he's made every single one of them with the cheat engine. The lads that we saw before, I think that he had just gathered from some sort of abomination orc berry bush. And my first thoughts here are that these guys look a little bit incognito, they don't look overly hacked. Here we have him. This is the one that was stolen from a guy called Nano. I've raided his fortress before and this orc actually joined me while I was raiding it. We've got some twins there and looking at the rest of them, they all do seem very normal. I mean, they're very pale. They are, honestly, they don't look as good as the hyper-trained orcs with their perfect 7s. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be a dark secret here. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get into this fortress. And I'm almost very, very sure that they are going to take next to no damage from me and my lads. And bear in mind, this is in Gorgoroth, where my raiding forces are actually quite good. So grab your cup of tea, or if you're a member of the Shadow of War Discord, the cup of your sister's piss. Lean on back and enjoy this beautiful fort raid. Diving on in, I go apeshit until I'm downed immediately. My golly gosh, that was quick. But I get up straight away. That's always a bit of a weird glitch. Why does that happen? You may have made this fortress with dark magic and cheat engine, but I have also got that on my side, apparently. Well, butter my biscuits and call me Sally. All of my guys seem to be down. They're even weirdly spread out. What the hell has happened here? One of my guys is actually doing okay. Although one hit there seemed to take off about 80% of his health. And now I'm hitting him myself, so this is not going extremely well. Yeah, this isn't fun, I'll be honest, and I'm down now. Just put me out of my misery. Well, maybe not you, maybe not a random grunt, I'll give the honor to somebody else. I hit them with a fiery elven blast, and for a second there I thought I had killed my own spider orc. I then desperately begin to try to get my guys back on their feet, but doing this causes me to become downed by a smoke bomb. And then he hits me with the no chance. Just look at this absolute massacre. I haven't truly been this effed up since my uncle gave me a very special big present on my 16th. God damn, that was brutal. But why was it made? Why now? Why on PlayStation? PlayStation was supposed to be the promised land, the one place that was free of hacked orcs. They've already completely taken over PC, making it an unplayable hellscape. Every day, these brave neck-bearded heroes get together and fight the forces of the cheat engine. But why is this happening? And why am I getting messages where I'm air quotes being exposed? To get into this, we need to go back a few weeks. 3 or 4 of these orc trainers are all freaking out on my Discord. Apparently there's someone who's having the audacity of showing off their hacked orcs. These orc trainers spend hundreds and hundreds of hours training these orcs. It's completely legitimate. All they do is use potentially game-breaking glitches in order to make the orcs stronger. There is a community of people out there who believe that even these trained orcs are destroying the game as much as the cheat engine lads. But those people are idiots. Just because they've got 0 weaknesses and get angry at absolutely everything, or a necromancer as well as being a spider summoner with no chance all at the same time, that's a completely normal thing to have in the game. Only weak little soy boys would surely have an issue with that. And if you haven't got time to spend thousands of hours training your own orcs using these glitches, then all I've got to say to you is get good, loser. The orc hacker in my Discord, whose fortress we've just seen, begins trying to show off his orcs. All of the orc trainers begin yelling at me, demanding that I ban him from my Discord. But because of the previous messages by certain little saucy devils in this Discord, I didn't really feel inclined to do anything that they told me to do. Especially if they were demanding it in such a way. Only my personal dominatrix gets to demand such things from me, and as far as I'm aware, none of them are in this Discord. So instead of removing this cheat engine user, I had a stern word with him. I told him to be nicer, I told him not to flaunt his monsters creations in front of their eyes. He was actually very receptive to this, and was even quite respectful. Some days go by and wouldn't you know it, I get tagged in more drama. These orc trainers are going at this guy, calling him all sorts of names and being incredibly disrespectful to him. They challenge him, saying his hacked orcs are trash and they are nothing compared to their ultra-level, glitched trained orcs. They poked the metaphorical bear repeatedly, until he snapped. Whenever I messaged him and asked him why did he put his hacked orcs on PlayStation, he told me the reason for this was to see how they would fare against the trained orcs. That's right, dear viewer. The very people who tried to stop this are actually the ones that ended up causing it. And because I'd allowed him to remain in my Discord for a few days, I was now getting the blame for all of this. Apparently having access to my lovely little community is what allowed him to figure out how to hack a PlayStation. I actually don't know how he did it, he won't tell me. But I'm inclined to believe, dear viewer, that he has some kind of pact with the devil! Anyway, back to the air quotes drama. Some of these orc trainers began going on Reddit and telling people that I actively support hackers. Simply because instead of banning him, I decided to have a chat with him. I decided to talk through it, rather than giving in to these demanding little lads. There's even one particular cheeky devil from this community, he's now going around and messaging all of my mods individually, trying to air quotes, expose me. Even though he was the one who was doing the majority of the incoherent yelling, and is now partly responsible for these orcs being on PlayStation. And what's funny is that the screenshotted message that he's sharing around is actually something that I forwarded, and didn't even write myself. You think I'm gonna have a good coherent argument like that? No, absolutely not. In regards to this comment right here, I defended him because he was being ganged up on, he was being bullied, and they were being very horrible to him. I related a little bit to what he was going through, considering the messages that were previously written about me. I allowed him to exist in my Discord for a little bit longer, simply because I feel like if I had banned him, it would have pissed him off, and that would have made the problem even worse. I did say that he has a right to use mods, but I in no way condoned him putting hacked orcs that are unbeatable in any of the forts or on PlayStation. The actions that I took were solely done to try and not escalate this situation. I'm trying to minimize drama at all times. My community is actually quite a lovely place to be. But I understand you need someone to blame for this, and you're sure as hell not going to take responsibility for yourselves. So I am very glad to sit back and be the punching bag. Don't worry guys, go on, lay on in. Like I've said before, I can see the people freaking out on Reddit. This has happened on Xbox previously, and it didn't spread there. So why would it spread now? Well, one reason for it spreading is that the creator seems very motivated. Probably because a bunch of guys have been yelling at him and banning him. He seems to be hell-driven on making the strongest, most freaky hacked orcs in the entire game. He wants to destroy the pride of the orc trainers and decimate their creations. But despite all of this, I really don't think they're gonna spread. At least in my opinion, they seem far too strong to recruit. I really believe that the only people that actually could beat and recruit these orcs would be the orc trainers with their perfect quadruple 7 lads. So what I'm trying to say is, if these do end up spreading all over PlayStation and infecting the online fort raids, just like on PC, that it can only really be done by the orc trainers. And to finish off talking about the drama, I truly don't condone using the cheat engine in this way at all. In my humble opinion, no one has been more affected by cheated orcs than I have. For the mere fact that Shadow Man, another Shadow of War, air quotes, content creator, has been mass producing Shadow of War raid videos with his brightly colored, high saturated cheated orcs, along with his AI thumbnails and boring repetitive titles. I believe that his mass-produced content has horribly affected the Shadow of War community and has had a devastating effect on my own channel. So quite frankly, in my opinion, no one has more of a reason to hate the cheat engine orcs than I do. So if you're one of these people that's going around creating unbreakable orcs and putting them into your fortress, then I would say this to you.
It's time to stop!
But also, if you're one of these orc trainers that's been going around messaging on my Discord, messaging my mods, trying to ruin my channel, trying to ruin my community, all because I defended a guy that in my point of view was being bullied and harassed and being kicked out of a Discord. Which, by the way, has actually, funnily enough, happened to one of these guys. Since it happened to one of you, I would have thought you would be more sympathetic. That's the third and final classic case of double standards! 3 strikes and you're out, lad. It's time for you to hit the much needed showers. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're one of these guys who's going around trying to cause drama, despite yous being the ones that arguably caused this, I would say this to you.
Go fuck yourself.